Let's look at formatting numbers, specifically change the number of displayed decimal places. One of the most common formatting needs for engineers is the ability to control the number of decimal places displayed on a calculated result. By default, Excel does not show trailing zeros, but if a calculated value is inexact, Excel will show as many decimal places as will fit into the cell. Leaving these extra digits makes it harder to read your worksheet and, more specifically, can make people think your results are far more accurate than they really are. So let's go ahead and convert our miles in this example to kilometers. So we're going to divide our miles by our conversion factor, the 0.6214 miles per kilometer. Let's make that an absolute cell reference. And let's go ahead and copy that calculated value down our column. Now, obviously, our 4505.954 kilometers, we're not that accurate. All right, we came from 2,800 miles, so we need to decrease the number of decimals shown. We can do that by go to our Home tab, and under the Numbers group, there's a couple buttons available to us to increase or decrease the decimal places. So by hitting that decrease decimal button, we can decrease the value to some point. All right, we can only get to the ones column. To go any farther than that, we're going to need to use a built-in function called the round function. The Excel's round function takes two arguments. It takes the number to be rounded and the number of decimal places desired. It then returns the rounded number for display in the cell. So for example, if we wanted to round this number here, we'll just make a sample down here. So equals round this value, right? We'll go ahead with E6 and we'll round it to 2 decimal places. (6437.08). Let's do the same thing with all 3 of these values. So we're going to round, use the round function. Now our number in this case, the miles, divided by our conversion factor, absolute cell reference, comma, and the number of digits. Now, if we put in 0, we'll get the exact same amount. We're going to use a little trick here, and we're going to put in -2, and that will round into the hundreds column. And we get 4,500. Now we copy that down, and our values are a lot more in line with the numbers we started with. So this column now, our kilometers, reflects more accurately the low level of precision we had to begin with in these distances. So the round function, just to be clear, takes 2 arguments. It takes the value to be rounded and the number of decimal places. If you put in a negative value for the number of decimal places, -1 would round to tens, -2 rounds to the hundreds.